I'm flying this pilot of an idea towards your brain because, hello everyone, and welcome to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I'm your host, Charles Lung. With me as always is my co-host, editor, producer, gunner, Jake Gloth. Hello Jake, how are you doing today?
I'm alright. Yeah.
Did you like that I called you...
Still kicking.
I called you my gunner? Because we're pilots.
Yeah, I don't really know what that means.
Well, we're pilots. We're Very Reasonable Pilots.
Oh shit!
And
That's
you're
right.
and I'm the one flying the plane, and you're like you remember in Star Wars when Luke is shooting the lasers, and
I really
Solo's,
think that you shouldn't be flying this plane.
I'm the Han Solo of this relationship, and you're Luke Skywalker.
You may be the host, but I don't know.
Don't get cocky, kid.
I just can't imagine you driving.
Never tell me the odds. Oh, speaking of driving, I might be getting driving lessons for this country that I'm in over the next month, you know?
Scottish driving lessons?
Yes. Scottish.
Do they make you wear like a kilt and bagpipes?
I wish. That would make it sexy. I just have to learn how to drive manual, which I don't know how to do, but I want to learn.
They make you learn how to drive manual?
No, but I want to learn how to drive manual. And
Oh, well, then you're a liar.
More cars are manual here than automatic.
Weird.
Yeah. So
you said plane, even though you were talking about the pilot. Does your pitch have a plane in it?
it does have a plane. It has another plane of existence.
Oh, that's not.
Yes, another plane of existence. And this show, I'm going to be pitching to you today. I actually am pretty happy with the title because I came up with a title for it. It's called Mortal Coil.
Mortal Coil?
Yeah, Mortal Coil. You know?
I feel like you've used that one before.
No.
Is that a reference to something? I feel like I've heard that.
I mean, it's Shakespeare.
Okay.
And
No, well,
Hamlet.
I think there's a show called Mortal Coil, though.
Oh, well, then they can fight us for the name. I'll fight whoever... I think there might be a game called Mortal Coil, now that I think about it. But ours is our show's gonna be better. So, basically...
It's a band.
Oh, shit. Well, they probably fucking suck.
They might suck.
They probably
They don't look good, I'm gonna be honest. They're a British band.
Oh, that's one strike against them.
I didn't know this was a genre, but apparently their genre is goth/industrial.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they just like to... They make it machine noises at a microphone. Screech!
They have a Wikipedia page, so maybe they are kind of big. I'm not really sure.
Beep.
Oh, they were... They were 1983 to 1991. They were not. They're not a current band.
Oh, then fuck them. We can totally use the show, the name for the show. So the idea of the show is that the premise is that when you die, you go to another plane of existence. But whatever happens to your body happens to you. You know? So somebody who's buried in a coffin,
Yeah.
their body will they have control of their body in this afterlife plane of existence, but it will decompose as, the body does on Earth.
Wait, I'm confused.
What?
So, they're in afterlife, right? And their body's on Earth.
They're dead. They're
Yeah, and
dead.
so when their body decomposes, what happens to them?
They turn to dust. They
In the
slip.
afterlife.
Yeah, in the afterlife. The
Okay.
idea is your brain is always tied to your mortal coil.
Oh, so if someone fucking burns you, you're fucked.
Yeah, you're a big pile of ash or whatever, a big pile of dust.
But are you still an intelligent pile of dust, or are you
Yes.
Okay.
You're as intelligent as a pile of dust can get. Maybe you're just in constant pain. We've never had the ability to ask the piles of dust.
Okay. So if you live in this universe, you want to be mummified or something.
You want to? Well, nobody knows. This isn't like the human race doesn't know about this. This is just.
But the mummies in the afterlife are yeah, fuck you guys. We're all preserved and nice, and I guess they did take out their organs and stuff though, so I don't know how that works.
They don't need that. So our main character, we follow Kevin. Kevin McAllister. You can call him whatever you like. His name isn't
Costner.
Yeah. Kevin Costner is a newly dead historical student / game designer who fell out of a window. All right?
Okay.
He's a game designer. He doesn't make video games. He makes card games. And all this sort of stuff. So he's got all on his person. He's got all different types of like weird, obscure card games that he's created or purchased, and that's what he's got on him. And he's, you know, naive, exuberant, and he's very curious about the, you know, afterlife, because he just figured when you die, you die. So he's actually pretty relieved he gets to come back. And he was buried, you know, by his rich parents. So he's got enough time. Our other character is Jeffrey Bones, and he's a skeleton man. That means he's all of his skin is decomposed and stuff, but his bones are still, you know, working. So he's a skeleton. He's in, maybe we'll say he's in the French mausoleum. He's in the what do you call those things? The thing that underneath France, the catacombs, the catacombs. Mausoleum.
No, you didn't. What is a mausoleum? Is that a mausoleum?
No, mausoleum is like, it's a big one for like one person or one family. You know?
Okay.
Like the Lung mausoleum would be for my family. For Charles Lung, the Lung mausoleum. Yeah, but Jeffrey Bones, he's a skeleton in the French catacombs, and he wants to be a banjo player. Like he wants to be a banjo player? Yeah, he always wanted to be when he was, you know, alive, and now that he's dead and a skeleton, he wants to be like a folk rock, you know, folk band banjo singer and guitar player.
Is he friends with the other character? Like, how do they? Are we getting there? Okay,
we're getting there. And the only thing that Jeffrey Bones needs is a harmonica player, because he doesn't have lips. And that's where our third character comes in. Her name is Sheila, and she was a woman who, you know, in life had her head shrunken down. You know how they do that? What? You know how some Native American
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I know what you mean. I thought you meant like while she was alive.
Yeah.
You mean like after she died?
After she died on Earth, they shrank her head. And so now Jeffrey Bones just carries around her shrunken head on his like hip. And she is his banjo player. She's his harmonica player.
That's sick.
So,
I like this idea.
Yeah, so she's just kind of this head that's attached to like a harmonica stand that he has on his shoulders. And she can talk, but she also plays the harmonica.
I love that. I love like characters that have like a head with them that like can talk. They do that in a couple different, stories. It's a great idea. It's like a little buddy that can't really do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like in God of War 4, Make It Poor.
Or the Joker in The Last Night.
Oh yeah, I never finished that book. Does that have a good ending?
It's not good. The beginning and like the middle is good, but the ending's not great.
Yeah, I got to issue 3 of 5, so I think
that's probably about as far as you wanted to get.
Yeah. So each character wants a different thing. Sheila, all she wants is to find a body that will fit. You know?
Okay.
Because she's tired of, you know, being stuck on a harmonica stand. She likes playing the harmonica, but she also wants to do other things. Jeffrey Bones wants to become a famous folk singer. Throughout the underworld, known throughout the underworld as the, afterlife, whatever you want to call it, as the greatest, skeleton to ever pick up a banjo. That's what he wants. And Kevin wants to find his long-lost father, who he never met. And can only assume is dead, but he might not be.
That'd be funny if he's alive.
Yeah.
That's the realization at the end of the story. He's alive. He didn't die.
And so how this world works is, I have a map here that the audience of this podcast cannot hear, but it's
if you send me a photo of it, I could put it on.
Okay, I'll send a photo and Jake can put it up now.
It's here, right? You can see it right now. It's great.
It's right here if you're on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube.
Yeah, if you're on the fucking.
And it's not a very. Some shit. It's not a very well drawn map.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's a map, and in the middle of the map, it's a big circle. It's not a globe. It's just one big circle of land. In the middle is this big pit. It's called, surprisingly called, the pit.
Yeah.
And there's water that spurts out at times, and that's where all the dead bodies come from. That's
So
where all the new
is the
arrivals.
city that's around it? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Is that like in the pit, or is that just around the pit?
It's around the pit.
Okay.
That's New Babylonia, and it is the largest undead city, and it surrounds the pit, and that's where, you know, the pit is where all the dead people come from Earth,
Yeah.
and so, and New Babylonia is close to the Ocean of the Living.
You know what's kind of funny?
What?
So today we're doing 2 in a row, right?
Yeah.
And we both have the same city name.
New Babylonia?
Yeah, I'm gonna change it a little bit, I guess, but that's kind of funny.
You can call yours New Babylon.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
That's really funny.
It's because Babylonia is a good, it's a good place.
It's a good name.
But yeah, the Ocean of the Living it's a, big ocean that if a dead body, touches the water, it disintegrates into nothing.
Okay.
But if you are able to somehow cross that ocean, you are able to come back from the dead and be like, "What's up? I'm back from the dead."
So I interrupted you. So you said the pit is where all the people get spurted out of?
Yeah, it's like a big geyser.
Okay.
Once in a while, and that's where we find the beginning of our story, as
right.
Kevin has just been spurted out of the ground.
Kevin Costner.
He gets there. He gets spurted out of the ground. Kevin Costner. He says, "What the fuck? What's going on?" And he sees all these horribly mutilated people and skeleton people and dead bodies walking around. He's like, "What is going on?" And he wanders into a building that turns out to be the DMV. I haven't thought of a good acronym for it.
The
Dead
Motion Motor Vehicle Association. So DMV works. They just changed the first one.
Yeah, Dead Motor Vehicle Association. And he's like, "Oh wait,
what's the first D normally?"
Delaware, Maryland, I don't know.
No, that's not what it is. What is the first D in DMV?
Defense.
Defense, yeah, that's what it is. DMV, Defense Motor Vehicle.
Defend Motor Vehicles. It's Optimus Prime's middle name.
Division of Motor Vehicles.
That makes sense.
So it could be either, we could just make it DMV, so Dead Motor Vehicle Association, or the DDMV.
Okay, I like the DDMV.
Dead Division of Motor Vehicles.
But the only vehicles that they have in the underworld are dead animals. Technology doesn't work there. Just other organic stuff.
Oh, okay.
So you can use you can use a candle, but the cars don't work.
So you got a dead horse.
Yeah, but you can ride it. But it's seen as kind of like a dick
Or
move.
a fucking dinosaur. Can you have dinosaurs?
Yeah. But
a T-Rex. And then the only good ones are the ones that are preserved in museums.
I think it would be and only rich dead people have those. Mm-hmm. I think in this universe
there's
it would be
some snob. Sorry to interrupt again, but there's some snob that's I got the Smithsonian T-Rex right here. And then fucking Kevin walks up and he's like, "No, that's the one in fucking Minneapolis. It's some dude's backyard, I think."
The one made out of plastic. And he's like, "Oh shit." Yeah, no, you don't have to apologize for interrupting me because I interrupt you constantly, so it's fine.
I know, but I'm just a good person. So.
I also try and be a good person every once in a while. But in this universe, riding a horse would be kind of seen as being a bit of a dick. You're a dick if you ride horses. Because all horses spent their entire lives being ridden by people. They don't also need to spend their entire deaths being ridden by people. So it's people ride other things. It's animals that got a break. It's I ride a dolphin. They get off too easy, those dolphins. And you can just ride it through the air. Dead dolphin, not a living dolphin.
Are you paid by someone to always mention dolphins in all of your stories?
Big dolphin, yeah.
Okay.
They pay me in dolphin treats.
When am I getting some of this dolphin money?
It's not money, it's jerky.
Oh.
I get a lot of dolphin jerky.
That's disgusting.
You don't know. You've never had it. A little bit of teriyaki.
I assume maybe it's good, but it feels inhumane.
Why? I'll eat a pig. It's as smart as a dolphin.
I guess that's maybe true. I don't know. I wouldn't eat a dolphin.
But he gets told to fuck off, Kevin, by the dead people. And he's like, all right, well, fuck. And he's pretty despondent, and he wanders into this bar and orders a water because he doesn't drink. And everyone looks at him as if he's just been, like, ordered a nice big pile of shit in front of him, because water is, like, the one thing that they can't drink. You can drink anything, but water's poison to them.
Oh.
You know?
So water is alcohol.
No, but they'll
not?
die. It's like sulfuric acid to them.
Okay.
So everybody drinks like liquor and booze and beer and stuff. And so that's when Jeffrey and Sheila notice our boy Kevin slumped over in the corner. Obviously, he's a very new dead person. Like,
Do they got a word for him? For the new dead?
Not yet. We could think of we could come up with one. Newbies.
Newbies? That sounded like that.
No, we'll come up. You know what? If anyone in the audience, if you can think of a word, like a derogatory term to use for dead people, like other dead people would call someone who just died. Greenbacks. No, that's what
Cadavers.
You call money. Cadavers. I like that.
Cads. Yeah.
Cads. Yeah. But Jeff and Sheila notice him and are like, all right, we can use him. We can use Kevin to get into Newtown, because Newtown is the second largest city in the underworld or afterlife or whatever you want to call it, and it is, you know, they only accept the newly dead. They only accept the cads. You know, they don't accept any ghosts. The ghosts aren't a thing. They don't accept any like skeletons, any mummies. Any, you know, embalmed. No, you have to have recently died. That's the only way you can get into Newtown.
You get kicked out after you're not new anymore?
No, it's a very exclusive neighborhood. It's hard to get in and it's hard to get out.
Okay.
So, and Jeff and Sheila think like, oh, this is, you know, gonna be the best thing ever. And so they start talking to him. Kevin, like, hey man, what's up? And they're feeling for him. They're like, oh yeah, you fell out a window, and then the DDMV lady told you to fuck off. Oh man, that's a real shame. You know where you should head off to? Newtown. And I was like, why is that? Well, it was like, I heard somebody in here a couple weeks ago talking about how much they missed their son, Kevin Bernhardt. That's you, right? It was like, Dad? I haven't seen him in so long. He's probably dead. And so Kevin thinks that, like, oh, my dad's in Newtown. We can go to Newtown, and then we'll find my dad.
Yeah.
And they don't, believe it or not. And that's kind of that's the idea I have for the pilot. Is a bit of world building, you know.
It's the beginning of the travel to Newtown.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're you know, going all over the place. So I think each episode we encounter a new weird part of this world. So one thing I can think of is land pirates.
So is just so I can sort of understand it, is the wasteland and these land pirates, right? That's in between New Babylon and the Undead City or whatever, New Babylonia. Is that like, you know, like Mad Max territory where it's like fucking, you know, insane people?
It's just whoever doesn't want to live, like, societally, you know? Because nothing grows because everything's dead.
Yeah.
And you're never hungry or thirsty. You just exist. So it's just people who are like, well, I got nothing better to do. Might as well start robbing people.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So and I'm thinking, like, the land pirates are actual pirates. Like actual, like it's Blackbeard and other,
That's really funny.
like legit pirates, and they just like put wheels on the boats,
Oh my
and they're
God.
just like heave ho, because there's no way to travel otherwise, you know, because nothing works. So it's actual pirates, and they're like, you know.
Are you gonna have a lot
adventurers.
of like dead cameos, like Blackbeard or like fucking Albert Einstein or something?
I would love to do like more obscure ones, like David Bowie.
You should just going off
Prince
that even
Philip.
more. You should have like anyone that was in history that's been like really fucked up, like their body's been really messed up after they died, they should definitely be in this series.
Oh yeah, we could get William Wallace, and it's just like it's a bunch of burlap sacks, and one of them, his head is just sticking out of it, and it's like, yep, this is me. Hey, they chopped me dick off. That's what happened. We get Prince Philip in there, and people will be like, he's not a new dead. He looks like he's been dead for decades.
And they'll be like, yeah.
we're not letting him into Newtown. And then he gets rebuffed. And he's like, oh.
I was a prince. Or something.
Yeah. But then our guys, Jeffrey and Sheila and Kevin, they get to Newtown. They realize that maybe it's not all it's cracked up to be, and it might actually just be a death cult inside hell that are like
A death cult inside hell.
Yeah. I don't know. What are they killing? I assume they're like making people drink water straight from the undead beach or the living beach.
Okay, so they're killing the dead people.
Yeah, they're turning. It's like this version of an afterlife is like it's the loading screen.
Yeah.
You know, there's regular life, this, and then complete nothingness, as far as they're aware. It's just the stage right before you stop existing in the universe. So that's why people are like still holding on to being alive in this undead like nightmare universe.
Okay.
Because they're like, well, after I die, I'm pretty sure it's just nothing. Mm-hmm. So like, well, yeah, then William Shakespeare's probably going to want to stay kicking for as long as possible.
So, this cult, like Newtown, do you have an idea for like why they're doing this, or not?
Not really.
Okay, then I got an idea for it. So they could make it so, like if you drink the water, right? If you drink water, you like become this like fine powder or whatever, and you can like mush up the powder or something and make it into like a drink or some food or something. And if you eat it as like another undead person, it like helps maybe rejuvenate your dead form a little bit.
Yeah, you start feeling alive for a little bit. It's like a drug.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe they're snorting this powder, cooking it into
that would
things.
actually be good. We could make it like very much a drug where they're like, ingesting it in such a way that it makes it seem so. Mm-hmm.
And then people are like, where's this new drug coming from? I can't believe they found a new drug that people are throwing away, I guess, on the surface world, and that's why we're getting it. Because it's being destroyed. But it's actually dead bodies. They probably still do it. And then, so there's Newtown, and the only other town I have written down is Old Town. Believe what's there. It's all of the oldest people. Like, the ones who are still, like, cogent and capable of moving around.
So you got, like, fucking Alexander the Great in there. Or
yeah, you got, like... You've got, like, some...
Fucking Caesar.
You got Cain, you got Abel, you got Romulus, you got Remus, you got old. Marcus Aurelius, you got, you got Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator, you got Russell Crowe in Gladiator, you got everybody. But it's like a very delicate town, and it's cut off from the world because it's like too much light and they'll disintegrate. Too much air and they'll disintegrate, so, And then there's the crypt, which is nearby Old Town. And that's where they take all the dust. Because you will eventually just turn into dust, right? They take all the dust and they put it at the crypt.
Oh, and it works. I'm looking at your map right now, and it works because Newtown's in between the two. So Newtown could be like going to the crypt to steal dust.
Yeah, but like the dust is put in little glass jars that are kept in the crypt. And it's like, well, that's the last we can do with you. And then there's the Frozen North, which I don't really have anything written down. But in my mind, the Frozen North was sort of where the creators of this secondary realm come from. And it's sort of like unending beings of pure light and energy. And our guys are just like, this is fucking stupid. and they just keep making fun of them and like dunking on them, and they're like, wait, you guys come like halfway across the universe with the most intensely creative technology that's ever been invented, and you just bring people back from the dead? You guys suck. And they're like,
oh, so this
fine.
whole plane of existence is like a scientific creation.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
But it's like that sort of mixture you get when you blend sci-fi and fantasy. It's sort of like it's a fantasy universe created by sci-fi technology.
Okay.
You know? That was all I was thinking. And it turns out that Kevin's dad isn't dead.
That's such a funny ending.
And he becomes president. Kevin's dad becomes president
of living country, or is there a president in this world?
Of the USA. He becomes president of the United States of America. It turns out Kevin is actually the love child of the presidential candidate and, some lady.
Damn.
Yeah. And then we close.
It'd be interesting is if in this world, because he's got to figure that out somehow, right?
Yeah.
If like radio could somehow go over the planes, so they have like a bunch of radios in this existence, and that's how they listen into what's happening in the real world.
Maybe it's like no technology works except they get they get NBC.
NBC.
They get the TV they get the TV channel NBC, and that's it.
Oh God.
And it's in black and white. And it's like, this is not good. All right, well, watch it.
This show's got a lot of potential. I feel like you could have a lot of funny or like interesting scenarios. Maybe like people that died in a war and they're still fighting. Like they're in the wasteland and both groups are still fighting each other, and like our group comes in, they're like, why are you guys fighting? And they're like, well, because the damn Japs. And they're like, what, the war ended forever ago. You don't need to fight the Japanese anymore. And he's like, what? I guess that's a good point.
Maybe they're more like, oh, well, it's something to do. It's like a war reenactment for them, but they actually did it. It's like, yeah, we're reenacting the bombs being dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Everybody get down.
Oh, God.
Oh, that'd be great. I like it. And then there'd have to be a section that's like, oh, this is where all the dead kids are. It makes us sad. We don't like to go near the dead kids.
We won't do that. It's awful.
Yeah, there's Newtown and there's Newest Town, but we never go to Newest Town because it's just really.
That'd be interesting if you like mentioned that, like, but never actually went there. You're like, yeah, that's where all the kids go.
Yeah, we don't like.
It's pretty sad there. I don't think we should go.
It's a bummer. There's a lot of bald kids. I'm just saying.
Jesus.
Leukemia, not a winner. It's a loser.
God, that's awful. We definitely can't show that. That has to be like just a throwaway comment.
Yeah, we really don't like to go there. We don't like to go to Newest Town. It's where we keep all of the dead kids and all of the child murderers.
What?
Those two groups get put into the same town.
No.
All the child murderers and dead kids get put together. We'll be best friends.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Whatever Charlie says when it's over. Yeah. To the
thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I've been your host, Charles Lung. With me, as always, has been my co-host, editor, producer, gunner, executive producer, Jacob Gloth. Thank you again for listening. You can find us at VRP Podcast on Twitter, and you can find me at Charles_Lungs on Twitter, and we also have a subreddit, right?
We do. I put it in the description, I think.
Oh, it's called r/VeryReasonablePilots. Feel free to join. If you do, I'll post some polls on there every once in a while. Does that sound good? Should I post polls there?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I'll post polls there. Great.
Bye.
All right, bye.